In the closing days of the 19th century, the global political climate was dominated by European nations vying for control over Africa. This scramble for dominance led to the continent being partitioned among these powers who exploited its resources and subjugated its people under their colonial rule. However, amidst this tide of colonization, one African leader stood as a beacon of resistance, Menelik II of Ethiopia. His strategic brilliance and military leadership culminated in a decisive victory against the Italian invaders at the Battle of Adwa in 1896, an event that not only secured Ethiopian sovereignty, but also dealt a significant blow to Italian imperialism. This video will delve into the life of this great warrior and the events that led to the Italian defeat at Adwa. Stay tuned. Welcome to our channel where we bring you the most exciting and informative content about amazing historical events from around the world. Today, let's embark on a journey back in time to explore the heroic tale of a legendary leader and his contribution to Ethiopia's struggle for independence against the Italian invaders. So let's start. Menelik II was born on February 18, 1844, in the town of Shesho, in the Ethiopian province of Shoa. He was the son of Haile Melekot, the Negusa Nagast, lit. The Crowned One or the King of Kings, the title of the Emperor of Ethiopia, and his wife, Taitu Betul. At the time of Menelik's birth, Ethiopia was politically fragmented with 18 different provinces, or agaziat, ruled by semi-autonomous princes known as Masafint. This internal discord weakened the country and made it vulnerable to external threats. Menelik's early life was marked by challenges and struggles for power. His father died when Menelik was just 2 years old, and he was initially declared unfit to rule due to a hereditary medical condition. Despite these adversities, Menelik received an education that emphasized Christianity, local history, and military strategy. He learned to read and write in Ge'ez, the ancient Ethiopian language, and studied military tactics from his mother, who played a significant role in his upbringing. Under the regency of his mother, Taitu, Menelik spent much of his youth in the town of Ankober. During his time there, he married his first wife, Taitu, the daughter of Ras Alula Engida, a powerful local prince. This marriage was part of a strategic alliance that helped secure Menelik's position within the complex web of Ethiopian politics. Around this time, Ethiopia was facing the threat of invasion by Ottoman-backed Egyptian forces under the rule of Muhammad Ali and his successor, Ibrahim Pasha. To counter this threat, Ethiopia sought the aid of British and French advisors and troops. Among them were John Bell, a Scottish engineer, and an advisor named Antoine de Rosny Denois, who became influential figures at the court of Menelik. In 1865, Ibrahim Pasha's forces advanced into Ethiopia with the aim of conquest. Though the Ethiopians initially suffered defeats, they eventually triumphed, marking a significant victory against external aggression. However, this hard-won victory had unintended consequences. The involvement of British and French advisors in the conflict led to increased European influence in Ethiopian affairs, setting the stage for future complications. Meanwhile, Menelik continued to navigate the intricate politics of the Ethiopian court, consolidating his power base and forming alliances. He skillfully maneuvered through rivalries and intrigues, demonstrating the qualities that would later make him a formidable ruler. Turning point. The year 1889 proved to be a pivotal moment in Menelik's life, as two crucial events shaped his destiny. Firstly, he ascended to the throne as the new emperor of Ethiopia. Upon his coronation, Menelik wasted no time in asserting his authority and initiating significant reforms. One of his first acts was to establish a new capital in Addis Ababa, signifying a break from the past and a commitment to modernization. Secondly, Menelik's attention turned to the threat posed by Italy, which had been expanding its colonial influence in the Horn of Africa. Italy's ambitions extended to Ethiopia, and diplomatic efforts were underway to potentially annex it. Menelik, recognizing the gravity of this threat, moved swiftly to counter Italian expansionism. In 1889, Menelik's forces clashed with Italian-backed forces loyal to the former Prince Dejazmak Jote, who had sought support from Italy to regain power in Ethiopia. The conflict escalated, leading to open warfare. The final confrontation occurred at the Battle of Amba Alagi in December 1895, resulting in a decisive victory for Menelik. This triumph not only secured Menelik's control over Ethiopia, but also thwarted Italy's initial attempts at colonization. Rise to fame and power. Following his victories in the Battle of Amba Alagi, Menelik's prestige soared both within Ethiopia and on the international stage. He was recognized as a champion of Ethiopian sovereignty and a formidable opponent against European imperialism. His reputation as a military leader grew, cementing his place in Ethiopian history as a liberator and unifier. However, Menelik's ambitions went beyond simply repelling foreign powers. He sought to modernize and reform Ethiopia to make it stronger and more resilient against external threats. He introduced sweeping changes in various sectors, including the military, administration, and economy. In the military, he established a modern army equipped with contemporary weapons and organized along European lines. He also reformed the administration, introducing a centralized system that replaced the fragmented rule of the Massa Fint. Additionally, Menelik encouraged the growth of trade and industry, laying the foundation for Ethiopia's economic development. His reforms, however, were not without their critics. Some members of the Ethiopian nobility who benefited from the old order resisted his efforts to centralize power and modernize the country. Nevertheless, Menelik pressed ahead with his vision for a transformed Ethiopia, determined to secure its independence and prosperity. One of the most significant instances of violence during Menelik's reign was the Battle of Amba Alagi in 1895. This battle resulted in the deaths of thousands of soldiers and civilians, many of whom were killed by Menelik's modern artillery. Additionally, during his campaigns against rebel princes and Italian forces, Menelik's armies committed atrocities, including the massacre of prisoners of war and the burning of entire villages. Furthermore, Menelik implemented policies that caused widespread suffering among the peasantry. For example, he introduced forced labor, known as gash, which required peasants to work on public projects such as road building without pay. He also imposed heavy taxes, which burdened the rural population and led to widespread poverty. Moreover, Menelik's attempts to modernize the Ethiopian army led to the conscription of young men who were often forced to abandon their families and undergo rigorous military training. Many died during this process, and those who survived were subjected to harsh treatment and abuse by their superiors. It's crucial to examine these darker aspects of Menelik's reign to gain a comprehensive understanding of his legacy. While he's rightly praised for his role in securing Ethiopia's independence and for his progressive reforms, it's essential to acknowledge the human cost of these achievements. By understanding both the positive and negative aspects of his legacy, we can gain a more balanced and nuanced perspective on one of Africa's most enigmatic leaders. Final years and death. As Menelik's health began to decline in the last years of his life, he took steps to ensure the continuation of his dynasty. In 1912, he designated his son, Lij Iyasu, as his heir apparent. However, Menelik's choice of heir proved to be controversial. Iyasu was a half-caste of uncertain legitimacy, and his close relationship with Ras Gugse and other Protestant advisors raised concerns among the traditionalist elements of the nobility. Menelik's deteriorating health and the growing factionalism at court created a precarious situation. Fearing a potential power struggle after his death, Menelik took drastic measures to secure his successor's position. In 1913, he convened a meeting of the nobility and attempted to impose Iyasu on them as his chosen heir. But this maneuver only intensified the existing tensions. Following Menelik's death in December 1913, the succession crisis reached a boiling point. The nobility rallied behind Ieyasu, and in 1916, he formally ascended to the throne as Emperor Ieyasu V. However, his reign was far from stable. Internal conflicts and rivalries persisted, and soon the question of Ieyasu's legitimacy and fitness to rule would lead to his deposition and the rise of another contender for the Ethiopian throne. Menelik's death marked the end of an era in Ethiopian history. His legacy, however, lived on. The victory at the Battle of Adwa continued to inspire generations of Ethiopians and had reverberations across Africa and the world. Menelik had not only defended the sovereignty of his nation, but had also shown that African resistance against colonialism could be successful. Legacy and impact. Menelik II left an enduring legacy on Ethiopia and the broader African continent. His successful defense of Ethiopia against Italian invasion at the Battle of Adwa in 1896 secured the country's independence and established him as a champion of African resistance against European colonialism. Moreover, Menelik's far-reaching reforms during his reign modernized Ethiopia. He introduced sweeping changes in various sectors, including the military, administration, and economy, laying the foundation for Ethiopia's emergence as a modern African state. His efforts to centralize power, establish a professional army, and promote trade and industry transformed Ethiopia and set it on a path to becoming one of the most prominent countries in Africa. Furthermore, Menelik's diplomatic skills played a pivotal role in shaping Ethiopia's place in international affairs. He successfully navigated the complex web of European interests in Africa, skillfully maneuvering to maintain Ethiopia's autonomy while forging strategic alliances. His ability to balance the interests of European powers and protect Ethiopia's sovereignty from external threats was a testament to his diplomatic prowess. However, it's essential to acknowledge the complexities of Menelik's legacy. While he's celebrated as a national hero in Ethiopia, his reign was not without controversy. Menelik's policies, including forced labor and heavy taxation, had a profound impact on the peasantry, causing widespread suffering and hardship. It's crucial to examine both the positive and negative aspects of his legacy to gain a comprehensive understanding of his impact on Ethiopian history. In conclusion, Menelik II's story is a compelling narrative of leadership, resilience, and the struggle for independence. His contributions to Ethiopian history are monumental, from securing the country's freedom to implementing far-reaching reforms that modernized Ethiopia. Yet his legacy also serves as a reminder of the complexities of history and the need to confront the darker aspects of his reign. As we reflect on his life and accomplishments, let us celebrate his achievements while acknowledging the challenges and controversies that defined his era. Menelik's story continues to resonate, inspiring generations to strive for justice, equality, and the unwavering pursuit of freedom. We hope you found this video informative and enjoyable. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below to share your thoughts or any additional information you might have. We value your feedback and would love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to stay informed about our latest videos. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.